country boy, that bulldog blue. Remember when I rocked 32, blood stains all on that jersey too. I learned to hoop in that gym. I made more enemies than friends.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming out to another episode of Crescendo. Today we are here with Jeff Texxxas. Now Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
What's up, I'm Jeff Texxxas, 3X's, San Antonio, local recording artist. Also own my own business here. Working on starting a record label, signing some other local talent. So stay on the watch out for some of the moves I'm making.
Hell yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about the business you're getting started?
So it actually started back in 2012, Real Music Records. Basically, I'm focused on myself and two other artists right now, but we hopefully plan on expanding to several artists locally. Right now, we're shopping around for features, working with different local producers, rocking different local clothing line, Tdk clothing here. You can get some gear here in San Antonio, Texas at Ingram Park Mall on the second floor. Big shout out to them. They're really rocking with the movement, so I appreciate them. Also, they got locations in McAllen, Texas, Houston, Texas, and Laredo, Texas. So definitely check out some of their shops and check out some of their local clothing line.
And look at how dope this is.
It's too dope.
Too dope.
Hell yeah.
It's almost too dope to wear. I just want to frame it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It is. That's why I'm doing all the photo shoots in it, because it's timeless. I'm an admirer of art, and so fashion's a big part of that. And they got an eye for fashion and what's popular right now with the current wave of things. So I really rock with their clothing line for sure.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like the other day when we came out here for Robbie's event, that was the first time I had ever been here. But man, I instantly fell in love. Like I see like all the artwork and stuff, and it's like super dope. And then like they have like legitimate artwork like on the walls and stuff. And I mean, that's just like everything that Triller High Life's about. We work with musicians, comedians, artists, and so like to see a store like blend that so well. I mean, they don't have any comedy yet, but
hey, you never know.
Hey, maybe if enough of you guys ask about it, we'll get some comedy up in here.
Triller High Life. This again brought to you by Triller High Life. It's my boy here.
We will be having these shirts, stickers, as well as our beer can hats here in the store. So just start looking for those around February. They should be in the stores by then.
Yeah, and everything I'm rocking today is available here at Ingram Park Mall, here at Tdk Clothing. The shirt, the pants, the shoes, I got at Finish Line right next door. So come definitely do some shopping around the mall here, and be sure to check out TDK Boutique.
And it's also really, really great to have a store that is so like involved in the local community.
Definitely.
I mean, like on the other side of the changing rooms, they have like all these shoes that people are selling, and so you could like come over here, buy some super dank shoes, or sell some of your super dank shoes. So all you sneakerheads, make sure you come on down to TDK, get you a come on down to TDK, get you a fresh fade and some dope shoes, and y'all have a good time.
For sure.
So how long you been making music, man?
I've been making music my whole life, actually, but I've really started to step onto the scene the last couple of years here locally in San Antonio. But music, and especially hip-hop, has been something I've been making pretty much my entire life. So, but definitely the moves I've been making these past couple of years is why you're here speaking with me today, why people are asking about me, wanting to know a little bit more. Probably why Michael Mintz recommended you do talk to me, because I am on the up and up and the come up. So definitely in the next year's time, I hope we get the chance to do another interview, kind of check in with me a little bit later down the line, because I'm confident a lot about what we're going to talk about today. You'll see in action over the course of the next 6 months to a year. So
what is your 6-month plan?
6-month plan, continue on pace with what I'm doing. So keep rocking local clothing lines, because first and foremost, I'm a fan of art. And like I said, I got an ear for the music. TDK here, they got an eye for the fashion. So that's why I'm rocking with that. Also, continue working with local producers, local artists. Right now, speaking of Robbie Raps that you mentioned a moment ago, he's an artist that I just wrapped up a song with. Actually, I just got the cover artwork in this morning for it. I have to show you. Oh, it's fresh, dude. So big shout out to Designer Phil. That's how you can find him on Facebook. He does all my cover artwork for my graphic design. But yeah, so this track I got coming up with Robbie Raps is going to be a big one, and I'm really looking forward to that. So.
Fuck yeah, man.
Also got Michael Mintz. We got the track, and the cover artwork's going to be coming in tomorrow for that one. And I'm going to be releasing those tracks right around the same time. So Robbie Raps, Michael Mintz, two local artists, super dope. And they're going to be on. I recently done an interview with another local podcast, and I had mentioned that I was working on a project, an album. Mm-hmm. And since then, I've actually decided that I'm not going to go that route anymore. I'm going to release pretty much all my music, the ones that I'm putting money towards, because I do a lot of recording myself. But the songs that I'm putting money into and putting money towards, that I own exclusive rights to, I'm going to release them all as singles. So everything's going to be coming out as singles on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much every major local or every major online retailer. So.
Are you on iTunes and Spotify right now?
Yes, I'm on iTunes and Spotify. You can check me out. Search Jeff Texxxas, 3X's. Pretty easy to find me. All my music I rock with. My boy Maxi G's on the songs too, so you can search him, Maxi G with 3X's. And we're working on a project together. He's somebody that you'll get to meet a little bit later down the line. So
hell yeah,
yeah, he's my ride or die, my boy. So we got a lot of stuff in the works together.
So tell us a little bit about why you chose Jeff Texxxas as your name and why the 3X's. Is it like a porn thing?
Well, not to say it's not, but okay. They actually do have a little bit of deeper meaning than that. So the 3X's stand for Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil. So that's kind of our group's motto. So again, it's Texxxas Gang. I'm just one of the 3 artists that is a part of it. Texxxas Gang is not actually limited to 3 artists. That's just what it is right now. But we plan on expanding, and anybody we kind of initiate into the gang, kind of like Wu-Tang in a sense, they'll get a name that's Texxxas. That'll be like their honorary name.
Okay.
So I'm Jeff Texxxas.
Right.
I'm actually not the first one to do the 3X's. That's my boy Maxi G.
Yeah.
We used to be considered strictly a duo, and we've went through different names over the years. We've been doing this for a good minute. So we've in high school we called ourselves Jazz and Max. We called ourselves. We've had a few other names that didn't really stick that long. Jazz and Max was one of the longer running ones. Then we kind of settled in on Jeff and Maxi G for the longest time. And that was just like the group name. We weren't like single artists. We were just Jeff and Maxi G. And he still had 3X's in his name. Didn't start with it. He did that around like 2011. He came to me and he was like, look, this is what I want to change my name a little bit to this and add the 3X's in there. And I was like, that's a dope marketing idea. It sounds cool, looks cool. He had meaning behind it, so we did that. And so we kind of rolled with that for a while. Then there was a point in time where we weren't making music together because we have become solo artists since then, but we still kind of rock with each other, or we definitely rock with each other and represent the gang together and things like that. But we do branch out and make our own music because we do have a little bit of a different taste in music and style and things like that. So when we were kind of in that phase, about a year where we were both working on solo projects, I didn't want to just be Jeff just because it's hard if you type in Jeff on Google or Facebook, anything like that, 1,000,001 Jeffs pop up. So to kind of pay tribute to what we'd already started together and what we were continuing to do together, I went ahead and threw 3X's into my name, and nothing more important to me than where I'm from, born and raised in Texas. So so basically, that's my last name when it comes to this thing, because that's where I put on for Texas forever. So that's where the 3X's came from.
Yeah, dope. Mm-hmm. That's badass. So Texxxas Gang, y'all are like really big fans of Vin Diesel, or like?
No, like I said, so I know there's, and especially now, because we've been doing the Texxxas thing for a while, and now there's the new artist, Texxx Temptation, or I really don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'm not.
I think it's just Xtentacious.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of his music. I really, it's something when we were talking the other day, I'm not really a fan of too much music because I've been making music so long that I made the conscious decision years ago that I'm gonna focus on myself as an artist. So do I listen to other music? Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah. I check out what's current. I stay up to date on what's popping. But when it boils down to it, I'm an artist, so I'm focused on my music and my craft, and I'm the biggest fan of myself more so than anybody else. But so the X's, they didn't have to do with like Vin Diesel or even with the wave of artists that are coming up now, because I've seen more people add X's to their name. We've been doing it for a while, so it's not something that we just recently added on. Yeah. So,
Well, hell yeah, man, dude. I didn't know what it was because I knew it wasn't your shirt size.
Right, no.
If anyone's a XXX here, it's me.
Gotcha. I hear you.
So, you've been doing a lot of collabs with people. So, how are you feeling about the San Antonio scene? Have you been received well?
I have been received well, yeah, definitely. First and foremost, I got to say big shout out to Blake, because that's the first artist I've seen that from this city that's got signed to a major record deal. He just signed with Atlantic Records. And in his picture on the day he got signed, he was rocking 2 Dope clothing. So big shout out to 2 Dope, big shout out to Blake. He's doing big things. He's an artist that I would one day aspire to work with, definitely. But yeah, so aside from that, the local scene has had its struggles, had kind of a cliche around it for not being the artists not really wanting to work together, but I see that change happening. I see the artists starting to want to collaborate and work together and do what's best for the city. And so I'm confident that everything's happening at a good time for me, because I'm entering the scene here the past couple years, and just the way the scene was, it is changing. So artists are more inclined to work together. For example, big shout out to Robbie Raps and Michael Mintz. They were down to work with me, and so those are some of the bigger names I've worked with. Also got a song coming up with Vision. 2020 got all the beats. He does a lot for himself. He does Monday nights at Bar 23. That's where you can find him. He hosts that. But he's another big name that I got a song in the works with. So yeah, definitely I've been received pretty well.
Dude, I've heard about Monday nights at Bar 23.
Yeah, you have to check that out for sure, dude.
I gotta go check out.
Do beer pong tournaments, the whole nine, so you have to go check that out. Yeah, my boy Vision hosts over there, so yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Fuck yeah. Who are some of the musicians that you listened to growing up?
So growing up, I definitely was enveloped by the Texas scene, the Texas sound. So you're gonna hear a lot of chopped and screwed in my music because that's what I heard growing up was Paul Wall, Chameleonaire, Zero, Slim Thug. Actually going to be checking out Paul Wall and Slim Thug December 13th. It's a Wednesday night. I think it's at the Rock Box. I could be mistaken, but it's going to be, it may be Alamo City Music Hall. I'm not 100% sure which venue they chose. But still, you can check that out on Facebook. That's December 13th here in San Antonio. So
that's Michael Mintz and Robbie Raps, right? They're opening up.
Okay, so they might very well be. I haven't. Yeah. It's a makeup show for a show that did get canceled, so I'm not 100% sure who's all opening. But yeah, they were opening up for the other show, so they probably got moved up to this one too. So that's
I am almost like 75% sure about that because I've been editing Michael Mintz interview.
It makes sense because that's some other artists that we did a feature with recently are actually going to be opening up for that show too. It's Flood the Wave.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a duo out of San Antonio, D-Rec and Trilliano, and dudes are some of the most talented artists in the city. Talk about not being a fan of many artists' work. I am a fan of their work. They're truly talented, and I'm just blown away by every time I go meet up with them and they show me new music they're working on. It's cream of the crop. It's leading the wave in what they're doing. So yeah, big shout out to them. They're going through a lot of the same engineers and producers that I am as well. So definitely different styles, but we mesh up well when we get on a track together.
Fuck yeah. Well, do you have any special skills outside of music?
Outside of music, well, like I said, I'm doing more than just making the music. So sometimes it is kind of hard to differentiate between the business side of me and the artist side of me because I do both. And so today I'd say you're sitting down with the business-sided version of me more so than you are the artist side, because I'm out here promoting, I'm out here doing modeling clothing lines. I'm doing a little bit of everything, not just making the music. That's just the focus of it all. It's all the steps I'm taking is to further the music. So do I have any hidden talents? I wouldn't say hidden. I'm showing everybody what I'm capable of. And at the end of the day, my true talent is writing. Yeah. Writing, like I love music and I love stuff like that, but I do poetry outside of the music and everything like that. I'm a writer at heart, so
nice.
Yeah, definitely. Like growing up, I was a writer too, so I relate more with the trap sound of music and stuff like that. Not so much because they're hustlers or anything like that. I mean, I do hustle. I'll do whatever it takes to get money. I mean, if there's a demand for something, I'm selling something, so I'll make money however I got to make it. So I do relate to that side of music, but at the same time, like I'm not really a hipster rapper or anything like that. And I think that's a common misconception. A lot of people, when they see me, they think that I'm kind of more along that wave, and I'm not. I associate more with the streets and things like that. And those are the people I'm working with in San Antonio too, are people that are true to the streets and things like that. That's my come up. My come up is unlike other come ups. It's unique to me and unique to the city because more so than like an internet star or anything like that, I'm loved by the streets. There's artists I'm waiting to work with. Chief Ali, big shout out to him. Probably one of the best well-known artists out of San Antonio. And he's doing it for the streets. Right now he's locked up, but he's somebody as soon as he gets out, I'm planning on working with. And so,
dude, my God, man, you would have to have so many fucking lyrics when you get out of jail.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you're just sitting there just writing the whole time.
Yeah, my engineer Don Vito, big shout out to him. Take Over South Records. Don Vito, Take Over South Records. He's worked with some incredibly talented artists out of the city. A lot of them have been featured on 98.5 and things like that. But the one that is probably the most well known is Chief Ali, and that's Don Vito's his producer, or not producer, his sound engineer, and that's the same person that's doing me. So my come up is different a little in the sense that I'm not an internet star or anything like that. I'm coming up in the streets of San Antonio.
Fuck yeah. So who's your favorite rapper?
Who's my favorite rapper?
Actually, I think I'll wait for this kid to stop crying. let's take this time to talk about family planning and the importance of condoms.
Shit, fuck around and get a Trojan sponsorship right here, dude.
Hey, you know what? As someone who rarely uses them, it's times like these where I think I probably should.
Don't always use condoms, but when I do, Trojan Magnum.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, I was watching I Love You Man the other day, and he's got the condoms for his masturbation station, his meat seat. And he was like, why do you use condoms when you masturbate? And he's like, oh, well, it decreases sensitivity so I last longer and there's no sticky mess to clean up. And I'm just like, I barely even use them when you're supposed to. Like, this guy is spending so much money on condoms.
Yeah.
Like, the only way I can think that would even be, like, you know, like something you could actually do is if you went to, like, Sam's Club or some shit and just bought, like, a shitload of them. And they're about to expire, so you're just like, fuck it. Use it for this.
Oh, goodness.
Somebody kill that kid?
Yeah. They went in there, they were like, Texxxas is in the building, shut your kid up.
Somebody said, shut that baby up! Shut that baby up! Alright, 3, 2. So, who's your favorite rapper?
So, favorite artist, favorite rapper, it's not a major mainstream artist. Like I said, I like to keep current with the wave of what's on the radio and listen to that so that I'm not too far off of what's popular, because at the end of the day, my goal is to be an iconic artist. So I want to get that radio play eventually. But my favorite artist is definitely going to be some locals. And it's hard to pick just one, but I'm going to have to say first and foremost, my boy Maxi G is my favorite artist. He's an artist in Texxxas Gang. He's an artist on Real Music Records, and he's my kind of my go-to guy as far as working with, because I mean, first of all, we have 156 songs on SoundCloud right now, and 90% of those are both of us together. So it's hard to separate the two of us because we have been a duo for so long, and then we continue to make music. We're just gonna make it kind of like Outkast. You're gonna know Andre 3000. You're gonna know Big Boy. Yeah. Same with us, but we are a group at the end of the day, and he's my favorite artist for a reason. I work with him so much for that reason, because he's my favorite artist, and like I said, he's somebody that you should probably that you will get the chance to sit down with, I hope. Yeah. He is a little bit more of the hipster, the sound, and so. Some of his biggest influences are like Mac Miller and just artists along that way that have more of that smoking culture, that more of that hipster culture to him. Not to say, I mean, he's his own person. I have to let him speak exactly how he is for himself. But his music is a little bit more along the lines of that. He's a great singer, and so he can sing really well too. So that brings something to the table that is irreplaceable, really.
Yeah. So if you could recommend any artist for us to bring to the Crescendo show, who would it be?
I got to recommend two. So you got to sit down with my boy Maxi G, because he's the other half of what I'm doing here. Right. So you get to see the first half of it today being me. Yeah. The second half of what we're doing is Maxi G, and so you'll want to sit down with him. Also, aside from that, they've done a lot for us in this local scene to help us kind of get on the right path and point us in the right direction of who we should be working with. It's Flood the Wave. And again, it's a duo, so it's actually a total of 3 people. Maxi G, you got to sit down with. But Flood the Wave, which is Trilliano and D-Rec. And some of the most interesting dudes you're going to meet, just because their music is incredible. Really, I see D-Rec with D-Rec and Trilliano together. I see them having potential to be a huge radio presence in the future, and they're young. I think D-Rec, he's a little closer to my age. He might be, I don't want to say for certain. I think he's like 23, 24, maybe 25. But then they're actually brothers, and so Trilliano is his younger brother. And man, they're equally talented, and they're really something special, and they're putting on for the city. In a way like I haven't seen a lot of artists do. Their first album dropped about a year ago. It was called The Debut, and I think it was 20 songs, and it was just stacked with features. It was just all local San Antonio artists, and it was crazy. It was really an incredible album, so you'll have to check that out. You'll have to sit down with them sometime.
Sounds like I definitely will, man. If you could, okay, so let's take somebody who's never heard of you before. Mm-hmm. Now, using only 3 words, how would you describe your music?
Ooh, 3 words describe my music. Unlike anything else.
Unlike anything else.
Yeah, really is. It really is. So speaking of, we mentioned the Robbie Raps and the Michael Mintz track.
Yeah.
My graphic designer is great, and so there's only been a handful of people that have heard those couple of tracks. Only Robbie Raps and Michael Mintz have heard their. Indio's also on the Michael Mintz track. I don't know if I mentioned that, but so he sings the hook for us on that one. But aside from those three guys that were part of the making of the track and Maxi G, the only person that's heard those tracks are either the sound engineer and then my graphic designer. And he hit me back today, and he was just like, "Man, those tracks are just on point." He's like, "You're not riding somebody else's waves. You don't sound like somebody else, but it's coming across clean." And so I'm starting a trend. I'm a trendsetter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah. So.
And so if you could put together a show,
working on some stuff like that,
and you could use 3 performers or bands or whatever, alive or dead, who would you choose?
Oh man, 3 performers, alive or dead. Oh, well, right now I am working on some shows. They're going to be around January, February time because I was planning on dropping this project in December. Like I said, it's going to be all singles. But more so than any famous artist, man, I'm really just interested in working with local artists. So right now, if we could get together a local show, I mean, some of the people I'm working with right now would be a dope show. If I could get me, Vision, Michael Mintz, Robbie Raps, Flood the Wave, all to perform at one place, oh man, it'd be crazy. So I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm working on. Man, it'd be crazy. I could sit here and speculate about different acts all day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see any artist I've ever enjoyed their music perform. Right now, I'm definitely focused on working with some locals and seeing some of the locals that I really want to work with perform with me. So.
Fuck yeah, dude! I love that you're so like down with the locals, man. About it, man. That's fucking legit.
That's really what it is important to me because until I seen Blake go to the next level, there hasn't been a San Antonio artist to do it. So for a long time, that was my dream, was to be the artist that put San Antonio on the map.
Yeah.
So I mean, my dreams change over time. So that's no longer my dream. Somebody did that already.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be a part of it. I've seen my influence on local music. Do I have as many fans as some of the artists that are popping in the city right now? No. But I also see who listens to my music, and those artists that are popular listen to my music too. I see the plays, and to think that they didn't take something away from that would be crazy because I know that they do. I've heard my influence on the scene, and so really it's my time to come into the scene and cut a paycheck for myself because at the end of the day that's what it's about. I put enough money into this music over the years. It's time to see a little bit something come back and be put back into my pocket.
Yeah.
And so I mean, because that's where I'm at. I've influenced the scene. Now it's time to capitalize on the fact that I have done that. I've had that influence, and I can continue to influence it. But now it's time for me to be in the spotlight.
Hell yeah! Speaking of being in the spotlight, do you have any shows coming up?
So nothing's set in stone, like I said, because a lot of things have changed just this past week, even because I made the decision to proceed with releasing singles as opposed to releasing an album. I just think with the way that music is nowadays and releasing it online, it's hard to sit on songs to drop an album because music's constantly changing.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just release music in the moment, and that's my goal, is to do that as much as possible. So I am going to start releasing singles and things like that, which kind of changed my plans for shows a little bit because I was waiting until this whole album was done to do shows. But now I'm going to start working on shows with these artists that I'm working with. Part of my agreement when I pay some of these artists is to perform alongside them in shows and things like that. So, like I said, nothing's set in stone, but you can definitely expect some consistent shows coming January, February time.
Hell yeah. Well, where can we find you online?
So, online, you can find me on Twitter, Jeff Texxxas, 3 X's, easy enough. You can find me on SoundCloud, realmusic_REC. And that's going to have my entire discography, my entire library of music, free music that is. You'd have to go on to iTunes or something like that to find, or Spotify to find the songs that are for sale. And that, again, you can just search Jeff Texxxas there. But for SoundCloud, it is realmusic_REC for Real Music Records. My Instagram, Jeff Texxxas_official. Let's see what else. I'm on Snapchat. I just recently got a Snapchat, so you have to follow me there. That's where I post my selfies, post my day-to-day activities, things like that. And that's also just Jeff Texxxas, 3 X's. So I try to make it as easy to find me as possible. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about in today's interview?
Nothing too much. But I hope y'all are rocking with me for real. I rock with the city. I got love for San Antonio. I got love for Texas. It's my home. I really hope that y'all decide to rock with me, and yo guys, I promise y'all will start seeing a lot more of me, so stay tuned.
Hell yeah. And Is there any shout outs you'd like to give out to anybody in the San Antonio scene?
Yeah. Let me give a shout out to a lot of people I'm working with. First and foremost, he's off camera because he's my off camera man, but my boy's got my back right over here. You can't see him, but Ammo Bambino to the side. He's always got my back, rides everywhere with me. He always has my back, so I got to give him a big shout out. But all the artists I'm working with, all the people in the city, big shout out to you. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk with me. Excited to check out your, some of your comedy sets, especially. So you said you are performing at Fitzgerald's?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Fitzgerald's, December 8th right here. So, I'm excited to work with local artists and see the local scene just progress.
Good. All right, so this is the part of the interview where you guys get to help us out. Thanks for submitting your questions. We're going to read through some of them right now. So first and foremost, Travis Einer wants to, first of all, say that he's a fan of Crown Royal, and he wants to know when you guys are going to collab again.
Yeah, so that's somebody that we featured on that's somebody that we featured on a mixtape back in February. So you'll probably expect to see some more work from him. He's somebody that I hope to kind of include on the record label side of the things that I'm doing. So he's somebody that you'll see some more of. He's a talented guy for sure. So he can count on having some work for him in the near future.
Fuck yeah. And DJ Southcross wants to know, what's your favorite food? Man, this dude's really about food. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, he has the same thing. So, but I do got a unique answer for that. So, like, I love pizza. First, like, pizza's awesome. Yeah, if I was out and about and I needed some food, I'm grabbing some pizza. But you can't go wrong with green beans, and that is my favorite food right now. So, it's been my favorite food forever. And the way my mama made them growing up, just doused in butter. So, green beans and butter right there. You can't go wrong.
Dude, I actually had some of those green beans that I was telling you about the other day.
Yeah, it was not a casserole, but what was it again?
It's fucking green beans, stewed tomatoes, and Italian dressing.
That sounds good, dude. That's green beans, any way you like them, or any way you make them, they're going to be good. So I'll have to try it out that way, too.
So DJ Southcross also wants to know, what's your favorite rock band?
Rock band. My favorite rock band of all time is AC/DC. Yeah.
Hell yeah. My favorite rock band was probably the Green Day one. That one was a really good one.
See, and yeah. So, yeah, definitely. That's good, too, for sure.
Yeah, was it about the game?
About the game?
The rock band game?
Oh, I got you.
Cut it.
Yeah.
That part out. Travis Einer wants to know, so on a fundamental level, what is it you want to accomplish with your music, big dog?
So long-term goals for my music is to be an established international artist, bigger than local, bigger than the city, bigger than the state. I want to be known worldwide. So got a long path ahead of me to do that, but I think it can be done.
So Neil McLean, which is a dank-ass last name, I wish McLean was so clean, wants to know, where would you like to see yourself in the music industry in the next year? And what steps do you see taking to get there, if not already taken? Now, we actually already answered this early on in the interview, so...
It doesn't hurt to reiterate, though. So, steps in the next year, definitely continue kind of with what I've already started here, doing photo shoots with local photographers, rocking local clothing lines. Big shout out to Too Dope Clothing, TDK yes. Boutique 210 here at Ingram Park Mall, San Antonio, Texas. That's where I get all my dope clothes, so definitely come check it out, second floor up here at Ingram Park Mall. But other than that, I'm just going to keep making music, keep grinding. You're about to, really I was waiting for this interview to kind of lay down the groundwork for what I'm about to do. You're about to hear a lot of music from me. I'm about to flood the city with music. I'm talking, I can make a lot of music, and I can make high quality music at a fast pace and at a fast rate. So there's going to be a lot of music coming from me in the next year. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. And last question, Thomas Richardson wants to know, when are you going to bring Jazzy J back?
When am I going to bring Jazzy J? See, that's back in the day. I told you they used to call me call me and my boy Maxie Jazz and Max. Of course, I had to get a little more original with it. That's how I adopted the Jeff Texxxas. But yeah, that used to be my name back in the day. They used to call me Jazzy Jeff.
Hell yeah. Yep. So, do you ever hang out at Maxie's pad?
Oh yeah. Me and Maxie lived together for a long time. We used to be roommates. And just getting a little bit older, so it is, we don't live together necessarily. But yeah, we always together. We always riding together. Definitely. So you'll see more of him. I promise you. He's just tied up doing a few things of his own right now, but and he's somebody you'll get a lot more acquainted with in the near future.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming out.
I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Good one.
You too.
Yeah. The difference is they gave in this. Snakes in my face pretending. I related to the streets. Yeah. Met people I needed to meet. Yeah. I just came to eat beats. Yeah. I'm just claiming my seat now. I don't get enough sleep. Now here gotta earn your keep. Counting Benjis, can't count sheep. Like my clothes, like my pizza supreme. Went to war with my boys then. I go to war for my boys now. We done away with the scoreboard. We fire shots, take a head count. A murder song, I'ma fuck 'em up. Yeah, burning money, I'm coming up. Yeah, turning up till the sun comes up. I'm a legend on the up and up.